So we're going to spend the next couple of minutes, right? And you're going to get a chance to share with everybody in the room what opened up for you out of doing the assignment. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to get up and walk around, right? And, you know, there's some of you in the seminar, you guys haven't met each other. Some of you you've met a lot of people, or some people you haven't met yet. And I want you to introduce yourself to them, and then in a very short, concise way, I want you to say what opened up for you out of taking on the assignment. You could actually say, you know, what you confronted. I know some of you I've talked to. You could notice what your internal dialogue says and shared that. I've walked up to people and said, "Hi, I'm a loser," in these rooms before. It's my internal dialogue. Now, if you didn't do the assignment, I don't want you to make yourself wrong. Okay? You can share what's been opening up for you out of being in the seminar, out of the last couple of sessions, okay, or on your group calls. You got that? All right, so I'm going to give you about 10 minutes for you guys to walk around, and I'm going to request you talk to 4 people, at least. Last time it was 3. We're anteing up. All right, go ahead. I'm going to give you about a 1-minute warning before we come back, okay? Go ahead and get up and share what opened up for you.
But I left the possibility that I don't need to I know that if categories are left open, it should be closed, because I don't want to box the whole cow. I have that necessarily. How you doing? So how is it?
I'm like, this is my
for all people, like certain people, it's like it doesn't work.
Are you married together? I'm married 15. I can't just drop that. What you just got to describe me. Yeah, is it my right? Is that my right?
And when you said, she's like, you're supposed to be a big person now, right, Mr. Mark? That's the they killed me.
Exactly.
I told you like, all right, what's up, bro? You have to see me outside.
You know the shit you brought up, she just like something random, something she knows is going to happen. I was like, she just brings that shit.
Like, if I say something like, she's like, yeah, okay. Why? I look ugly? No. Automatically, like, she's ugly in the face or something. I know exactly what you're doing. And I know it's not my place. Like, I know it's literally because there's like insecurities. Yeah. Everybody like, so like, I love my people. Automatically, fight. And now I'm just fighting with my dog. So now, first issue, it's like, she's like, you're mad at me. She's like, you're upset with me.
So where's this at for you right now? You told her you're just going to have to stay? Because I can't do that. I'm fucking 15 years old, 2 kids.
When it comes to I have written down my dream picture. I have no idea. All I know is her. I told her I was like, look, I'm not saying you have every reason to be mad. Every reason that you're angry, I'd have been angry. Your reason for her and me. So he's doing that. Now he's just walking around his life upset.
You can have all the coffee thing, why did you make my lunch?
That's like, first of all, that's what I said. But I also know, like, she's like, her dad did that for her, but I had to remind her, like, hey, girl, I ain't your daddy like that. Like, being there, like, I'm also, this was my racket.
Here, Rick, keep walking around, keep sharing yourself, meet new people. If you're not two, meet 2 more. We've got about 3 more minutes. Keep coming around.
Well, she does have those places. Yeah, but I'm still not behind her. I didn't know you wanted that. I didn't know you wanted
right, everybody keep walking around, keep sharing yourself.
I'm not. I said, look, I said, you're not the bad guy, and nothing's your fault. I never want you to go back to me. It is completely, yeah, completely ignored. Completely ignored. You don't have to do that. I think it's about 30 more seconds. Start to wrap it up. 30 more seconds.
That's hard. We're just
Okay, everybody, please take your seats.
looks like we don't have time.
Okay, please take your seats. So, for those of you who didn't do your assignment, I'm inviting you to start to confront what it costs you to honor your reasons and your internal dialogue over your word. See, you're honoring reasons and excuses versus honoring what you gave your word to. Can you see that? Yeah. And you can see that you do that in your life. So in the big picture, doing these assignments is critical. But not doing the assignments is not the end of the world. All right, so I want to hear from you. I want to do some coaching. I want to hear what you had to deal with in your life, what you struggled with. And I'm reading your name tags as I'm going along. So I'm putting the faces with the names. Right? In the last session, we talked about internal dialogue with good avoiding looking bad. So what did you struggle with your internal dialogue? So you try to take something on, some of you, and then you find out something you had to deal with. Maybe there was a breakdown, and then you guys are discovering what you're developing your muscle and it's practicing until you get developed in that area that you're dealing with. So who struggled with their internal dialogue this past week? All the hands should be up. Who's mastered your internal dialogue? All right, so let's have someone come up. I want to hear what you struggled with and what did you deal with. Someone who you've already let's have non-group leaders, guys. You know the group leaders are like I love you. You're leading the way. Hold on, let's have. Who did the assignment? Yeah, I want to hear from people who did the assignment. Who would like to come up and share what you struggled with? Who did the assignment? Who's not a group leader? Yeah, Paula, come on up.
So internal dialogue, right? That's the thing?
Yeah.
So first of all, it's non-stop. It will not shut up. Second is very negative. Complain. And a lot of the complaints are about me. Not about what's going around me, but how I am not dealing with stuff correctly. How I'm totally messing up my life, and I'm not doing things on time, and I'm so disorganized, and all the adjectives in there that are negative. And at some point, I'm like, just chill. I mean, I don't even know who am I talking to, of course, but it's like, would you just give me one moment? I don't even think with you, just jacking there. It was just so annoying.
So what did your internal dialogue say?
Because that's another thing that you haven't done or finished, and you said you would, and there's another book that you haven't read, and you forgot that you were taking this course, and blah, 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 and you haven't called the doctor, and you haven't done this, and how, at this point in your life, you should have everything figured out. Everybody knows how to do their life but you. Take it. Jesus Christ, would you shut up and let me do this stuff? Or let me rest. That's another thing that I have to do with my team leader. Resting, I don't know what that is. Tell me resting. Okay, I'm resting. No. I have things to do. Therefore, let me just do this. Can I do this while I rest? Because I'm not even kidding. So I was even telling my team leader that someone gave me a ticket to spa. And I go in there and they put the cucumbers in there and I go, I need to go, I'm poor and I have things to do. I cannot be here with these cucumbers.
Cannot be with cucumbers.
And my back hurts.
Okay. So your internal dialogue does not define who you are.
Okay. Can I debate?
You want a lobotomy?
Okay.
So, yeah, your internal dialogue does not define who you are.
Okay.
And it's never going away.
Oh, great.
Yeah, can you get that?
Can you slow down at least? Because I'm really annoyed.
I don't know about speed, but it's never going to go away. No, it's actually going to speed up for you.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. So, you want to see how it shapes your actions, the voice in your head.
right. And I was doing.
So what's an area that's really important to you that your internal dialogue impacts? You talked about cucumbers and, you know.
Okay,
So you've got areas that are important to you, not cucumbers.
No. I mean, I believe the rest would be nice, but it's not the most important though. So I'm really trying to figure out a way to change occupation, for example, to change career. And that internal dialogue, of course, wants to pull me back into safety and staying in corporate and the salary, and you're a mother and you need to be responsible and all these things. So, and I'm not going to just quit my job tomorrow and go into nothingness, but I just want to build something on the side responsibly and build it and being able to eventually, change shifts.
Okay.
I cannot be where if I had to be in the same career for 5 more years.
So you want to create something new on the side.
Right, so that when that can sustain us, then I can stop my corporate job.
So what is it that you say about that side job?
That I'm not structured enough, that I'm not consistent.
You don't structure enough?
Not consistent,
Not consistent.
organized, there's way too much that I have to learn to do that. It's not safe, it's irresponsible.
And what's it like for you?
It's stressful to begin with, and it's annoying because I see opportunities to try some things, and I have to kind of go uphill. to even try them.
See, that's like, can you guys see that's a story? Like, we will create something called going uphill. You
But
know,
it feels difficult, like when I try to do something about it, when I try to read something that I need to read about it, it's almost like I have to.
what's the thought that you have right then when you're reading something?
Who are you to be enjoying your job, for example?
Oh my God. That's it. There's no middle, there's no whatever.
Right.
It's that.
It's
Who are
that,
you?
yeah. Yeah,
Who are you to do that?
right.
And you have it that that's you.
Right, and I want someone else to come and tell me, yes, you are someone who can do that, someone else.
Well, whatever that was, I want you to get that that voice in your head is saying that to you.
Mm-hmm.
So the power of what we're doing here really is for you to distinguish that in the moment.
And still choose to do what I want to do. Okay?
No, you gotta be with me.
Oh.
This is you're looking good right now. So you have the thought, what is it again?
Who are you to do your job?
Who are you to enjoy your job? So you guys, what are some thoughts that you guys have that disempower you? Just
Did you say disempower?
disempower you. Who are you to be happy? You or me or you?
Like, that's the voice that I have.
People are gonna get tired of me, Natasha.
I'm not good enough.
You're not good enough.
You're still not good.
You are still not where you wanna be. Yep.
People like me don't make that much money.
People like Kevin don't make that much money. You should be, yeah, so much, how many of you have that one? I should be so much further than this. Should be further than this. Yep, Sean?
No, I'm
Okay.
I have the same thing. You don't deserve it.
You don't deserve it.
So,
Yeah, you don't deserve it. Yep, Heidi?
I'm too fat.
I got that one.
That's a big one.
I never had that one. Yes, Bill. I just don't belong here. I can't do this. Yeah. Yeah. What's some others?
I don't have what it takes.
Not strong enough. What'd you say?
I don't have what it takes.
You don't have. I don't have what it takes. Too old. How many have? Yeah, too old, too young. Everybody have any in your listening of like maybe gender, like women can do, women can't do, men should be able to do. Yeah, all that too. Men don't cry.
Historically, mine has always been, why am I doing this? Where's the men? What happened? Good? And I said historically.
That's Heidi's internal dialogue. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just like, this is for everybody. So there's an inauthenticity there. See, you guys have completed the Landmark Forum. I've said that before. I want you to get what Landmark Forum graduate is. Like, you sat in a room for 3 days. I mean, 3 long days, yeah? Some of you drove a couple hours to be there, whatever. You saw a forum here. There's like 55 or something in the world. And you've completely gotten awoken to something totally new in your life. Is awoken a word? It is? Thanks. Did you hear my internal dialogue? Awaken. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah. See, but the difference between you and people out who have not done the forum, I don't want to say out, is you now can get responsible for your internal dialogue. You have that power. And it ain't you. You are And every one of us in the room, you are so bigger than that darn voice in your head. I have a friend who's another seminar leader. He names his voice Chucky. So I call up my friend and I leave voicemails for Chucky. He laughs. But anyway, that's a side step. So that's what we're doing here. We're getting responsible for your internal dialogue. Okay? And you gotta get, here's the power of it too. It's automatic. It's a machine. And our practice is to catch it in the act. We're going to catch the internal dialogue in the act. So, what becomes possible?
For me to explore the areas that I want to explore and give it a shot and decide which one I want. Not the other.
What do you want?
Well, I don't know yet. And that's why I usually try things until I find what I want. Career-wise, you know.
Let me just put something in right there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna say, like, how many of you guys want to, you say I want to live a powerful life.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is you hit the snooze button. I want power. 5 more minutes. Hello? It's either your internal dialogue, you're gonna honor this, all this we call noise, blah, 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 or what you give your word to, the promise that you made. That's it. It's that simple. So the question is, what are you going to give your word to? What are you willing to give your word to?
Well, right now I'm learning how to be a copywriter, for example. I am not 100% sure that that's going to be that thing, but that's what I'm doing right now. And I want to finish it up, and I want to find clients, and I want to, if in the path to do that I find something better or more in tune with me, that's fine, but that's what my commitment is right now.
Okay. So, and you're doing awesome. You're like the example
I'm
for
looking
everybody.
good.
Do you guys, this is what it looks like to not give your word to something. I have a commitment. There's no word being given there.
Okay. So my commitment is to finish my copywriter class, for example.
So what are you giving your word to? I'm giving my word to having this by this.
Okay. I give my word to finish my copywriter class December 15th.
You see that?
Yeah.
That's power. And you said it in front of how many people?
I didn't say which year.
Oh.
Kidding, this year.
So, you gotta give up what you do. You're making a huge difference for these people. All right, so, who's your group leader?
Sean.
Great.
Sean.
Awesome. So you want to work with Sean in your group and make promises of the structure in place. Okay, internal dialogue is going to happen, everybody. How you have victory over your internal dialogue is you give your word to something. Take the action and live into it. Okay? Great, awesome, thank you. Okay, so we're going to deepen the work now, okay? One of the most powerful distinctions of the Landmark Forum, there's a lot of them. The most powerful one is what we call the distinction racket. Now, before I begin, you could have a listing of, oh, I've heard this before. It could be a memory. It could be an I already know, right? What I'm requesting is that the listening tonight be an inquiry, not from the past that you've been introduced to. not from the past. So it's gonna take some directing of the thoughts, right? Like, okay, I heard that before, now let me apply this, right? Okay, and it's not what you discovered in the forum about rackets, it's what you're discovering now about rackets. Got it? Okay. So the first question is, what do we mean that a racket is a distinction? What is a racket as a distinction? So what we mean by distinction is a distinction only lives in language, right? It's created. So let me ask you, how many of you had, or who had rackets before they did landmark forum? Turkey's raising their hands. Nobody had rackets before you did landmark forum. See, a racket, it's not a fixed trait or a characteristic of some people. A racket isn't a real thing. What a racket is made up of isn't inherent, like this stand is made up of 3 legs and a pole. And people, you are not made up of rackets. We invented rackets. Rackets were invented. Why? All right, this is powerful, okay, ready? We invented the distinction racket to find a powerful way for you to deal with what's unwanted and yet persists in your life. To give you power with that. And to presence the automatic reaction to perceived threats in life. Perceived threats. So racket, it's an invented context to deal with what's unwanted yet persists in a human being's life. Now, it also means that a racket isn't bad. Some of you might be going there and you're listening, oh, I need to get rid of rackets, they're bad. No, we invented rackets to give you power. So in those areas of your life where you have something that's unwanted and yet persists, you'll notice that most human beings are not very powerful with those phenomena. That's why they persist. You see that? Yeah. So we invented rackets to bring a counterintuitive context. So you have some power in your life. For those aspects of yourself in your life and circumstances that are unwanted and yet persist. Now this is particularly in those areas which you have something unwanted that persists and which impairs your ability